myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing on the topic that is city creation. And in city creation basically we are discussing the topic that is India account. In this basically if any country basically if any this video is basically watching by some other countries, they can replace the India word to other country word and their culture and their rules and regulation, because each country have their rules and regulation. You can't basically merge the rules and regulation. If I am taking one example of some topic, so that would be according to the India account. So that example basically you have to replace with the other countries, whatever basically countries groups basically are seeing this video. So now here basically one dangerous topic. One of the person told that the near around data basically in your body parts, who decides basically, and how basically it's perfectly on good. That is also basically question. Basically, it's a perfect data basically, which is getting dumped near the human bodies basically. That also basically with the perfect systematic basically. That is not possible actually. So one of the person told that there is some system basically created by set of groups. One example I will take. In software industry, the people who are basically doing the coding, they do the system basically. How? They basically do the uh, modular coding basically. And that modular coding basically is the best example is the PHP frameworks. That is the best example of modular coding. For that basically the Symfony framework is there, many Cake framework is there, many framework basically are created. Functionality is one only basically. If you want to access the data and then do the correction, this is the function. If you want to access the data, that is the function. If you want to access the data and that also some few more data, then basically this is the attributes, this is the properties. The properties are different, the methods are different, framework basically are different, their tasks are also different. Few people basically use for loop in Symfony framework. In other Cake framework basically they use while loop basically. So there are many things basically which are, but the framework stuff is basically one. That is this. Few framework basically doesn't support few facilities. Few framework basically supports the facility. But major task basically related to application creation, all framework basically are working. So that actually is one what system basically. That's why the PHP projects are getting complete, right? Otherwise basically the PHP project will not get complete. .NET framework. In .NET basically many companies basically creates their own frameworks, and on the base of that framework basically you have to work, your company basically have to work. For example, if you want to open the connection, then this is the function. You just have to pass the database name. That's all. And user ID and password from the coding side. That's all. The connection will open automatically. If you want to access the data basically with the condition basically, then you have to pass this data and set of conditions. So that is actually what we think. That is system basically. Framework basically is one system basically which is created. Now into the management side basically, what actually that is. In project management plan basically there are many documents like PMP is there, quality work related documents are there, scope related documents are there, then the UTC related documents are there, that is the unit test cases related document, then the proposal related documents are the proposal means if you want to do some quotation to give the price to the particular client basically, that this is the price of the CRM project. I am basically taking as an example a CRM project. This is the price basically, and these all are the rules and regulations that this many change requests basically we are going to do. If the change request is exceeding more than this, then this all will be the charging. So each and everything basically here, that is the control board basically, that is the change control board, everything basically we dump into the proposal plan. Like this proposal plans basically are created, then the scope level plans are created, then the project specifications are created, then the risk level plans are created, then the communication level plans are created. So like this basically resources level plans are created, this everything plans are basically created. So previously it was like that, you have to create the documentation and you have to, now also basically nowadays also basically you have to create document but not up to certain level basically, not up to previous level basically, that also you can say. The reason, each and every management stuff basically, that was basically the system basically was is converted into the softwares, that has given name as a PMP softwares. Like Jira is there, PMP software is there, then the Microsoft tools is there, Microsoft project tool is there, then the project manager.com is there. They basically have created their own tools according to the country rules and regulation of the projects, in this basically, nowadays basically the companies has executed new few more advanced level stuff basically, that is a certification called as a Six Sigma basically. In Six Sigma basically they implement each and every minor level stuff also. For example, they want to hire some few resources basically for this level of projects basically. So the Six Sigma, there are many tools basically, AI tools available. They automatically tells that basically that this many resources you required and this many experience should be of that resources. So that basically has given us a AI tool. Previously basically I was in previous organization basically, when AI tool was not there, we have created our own AI tool basically, and in that AI tool basically we have implemented this everything basically. So that entire AI tool basically was into that. So previously also AI tool was there basically, it's not like that the AI tool was not there, but it was not recognized and not given the name basically. That means in simple language, the system basically name was not created. The system name basically previously um, it was like that. So Six Sigma is the some advanced level technology. Technology we can't say basically, it's the management stuff basically. Management stuff means entire things basically has to be managed, right? Basically, one project you are doing, so same thing project basically you are doing to some same management style basically, you are doing to some other, so that should be more faster basically, right? Then basically as per experience the project goes on basically. So that basically has given us a Six Sigma name, and that is actually one rules and one of the system basically. And on the base of that system, the entire system basically, entire software industry basically, few companies software industry basically are working. Then CMM level 5 organization, their system basically are totally different, but the system is created, that is the main thing, right? That's why this whenever basically after a certain time also basically, if you want to see the project information, if you want to view the project information, if somebody told that basically what is actually this project and how many things are basically divided, this and everything basically, so you can able to see easily. PMP plan documentation is there, code level documentations are there basically, debug level documentations are there basically, the project specifications are there. Somebody told that basically how many error basically was in this project basically. Then UTC is there basically, unit level test case, then module level test case is also there, then the system level test case is also there, system integration basically. So like this the system has created, and this everything basically is documentation. And nowadays basically the tools are created of this documentation, so that the in future basically if anybody asks the thing basically, then it would be easy, and we can basically print that also, and then basically we can display that to particular client also, and we can display that basically this was the thing system. Then basically the in system basically the when we checked the UTC documentation, then we found that the system this type of a logical error was this much, then basically the designing error was this much, then the coding level error was this much, then the integration level error basically was this much, and the system level error basically has this much key. So everything basically we can display, and according to that basically we can do the future plans basically, so that the projects can be used and projects can be created very easily basically. So previously also AI tool basically was there. It's not like that basically the AI tool was not there. I will take one example of the best AI tool basically. One person told that I want to create the login screen. Forget the login screen basically. When you are creating the project basically, what are the main components basically in project creation? So one person told that login screen is a common screen, registration screen is the common screen basically. So I actually assume that basically I have created one tool basically that is given as an AI tool basically. This tool basically was created long before by me basically. Uh, when basically I started the career of project manager. That time basically I had created this tool. Assume that basically I have written login screen. Then basically I have written that advanced level in combo box is there. Advanced level, normal level, what is actually. So the client was telling that basically it's a normal authentication, means data has to take up from the database only. So I have written normal, selected normal, then submitted. The AI tool basically, that is the project management tool, it displays everything basically related to that. That this many screen has to be created, then the login basically code will be the this type of code will be there. The normal programmer basically can work into this. In this basically the few years experienced person basically can work, and if the this many experienced person is working basically, then his resource cost will be this much. So resource department basically is there, that is the resource screen basically. In that basically you have written the resource money also, that if this level resource is there then this much money, if this level resource is there then that much money. So that everything basically is decided. So according to that the resources gets calculates, then basically how many days it is going to take, that this project basically is going to take this much, because if it's a advanced level or basically the normal person is doing, then basically it is going to take some normal days basically, not going to take too much of days basically. Or basically if the resources is not so advanced basically, if he is a normal if he is a few experienced but little bit knowledgeable or advanced, then basically according to that the resource category you can say which kind of resources are, so according to that the days are calculated. So like this everything basically gets calculates. That is actually what basically, that is system based. That's why the everything basically is going smoothly basically, right? So why I explained this everything basically, because our bodies basically are connected like this only. For example, one person told that basically, do you know basically Sunil, in near your eye basically which type of energies are there? In your head basically which type of energies are there? In your hand near basically which type of energies are there? In your leg basically which type of energies are near leg basically? Which type of energies are basically there? Which kind of energies are there? That basically are decided by whom basically? In India basically, the who decides it? In India basically who decides? One group basically can't decide everything basically. one group basically can't decide everything. So the tasks are divided to everybody, and everybody means each and every departments of the, and they decides according to their stuff. Nowadays, what happens? For example, uh, software department basically designed their energy basically, and they told that basically they sorry they basically don't have authority. They given the authority that software group, your energies are going to be stored near ear basically, or basically you can say near nose or near this head basically. So you should know that your software energy basically, that is the software departments, got the place in the human body basically near, that is this or basically this or this. So that authority basically, why they got, how they got the, because they told that basically the blood cells of the software basically, each department basically have their blood cells. So software is also basically blood cells. Assume that basically your software basically, sometimes some software blood cells basically sometime comes here, sometime comes here, sometime comes here basically. So you basically have to track your blood cells according to that. So if A blood group is there or B blood group is there, then your blood cells, software blood cells is going to be dumped here, and your software energies are also basically here. If it's a nose, then here, then basically it's here. So one of the person told that human basically have how many parts basically? Head is there, leg is there, eye is there, mouth is there, neck is there, then the private parts are there, then the eye is there, then the hand is there, then the leg is there. So each and every parts are basically there. They basically reacts on the base of the activities they do, and according to the activities they do, they basically will be doing which type of activities. This everything comes into the system basically. Same way the software blood cells is created, that is created on the base of certain level of system basically. It's not created like that basically. One person told that, "Arey bhai, due to software blood cells, the lots of blood cells basically got affected. So they have to fast track each and every stuff basically very fast basically. From which software basically this, because in software blood cells basically more than 1 crore blood cells basically are there. More than 1 crore sub blood cells are there. So from that 1 crore sub blood cells basically, which blood cells basically got connected with the rest of blood cells basically. That is the other blood cells basically which got affected. So to find that basically what you are going to do, that is the debugging basically. It's called as a maintenance debugging basically. This is actually one task basically. This is one stuff basically, that is into the maintenance stuff basically. So they basically gets that basically this was the software. They basically started debugging that we have 1 crore software, then their software data are basically up to this level. They can access this all blood cells, they can access this all blood cells. So which is that software basically who accessed other blood cells, and how basically they got access. So this everything basically are decided. So this is basically called as a system basically, and this basically has name given as system also, you can say it. So one person told that software blood cells basically can be here also, can be here also, and can be here also. So how, who who actually decides this? Software group decides, or basically the software energy group basically decides who actually created the software blood cells, or basically it's like that basically the software blood cells, sorry, to create this one software blood cells, it has taken around 5,000 cities. So due to that 5,000 cities, this blood cells has created 5,000 cities has taken basically. So according to that basically the data basically are dumped here basically, or here basically. So one of the person told that that actually is very dangerous question basically. I don't think nobody might be having this answer because blood cells keeps on circulating basically, but the blood cells has to be fixed basically. So few people told that basically softer blood cells is here basically. Few people told that softer blood cells is here. Few people told that softer blood cells is here. And according to that, near around software energies basically are dumped. And they basically do negative task and positive task both. So one of the person told that everything basically are, assume that software energy basically are data basically gets refresh or gets refreshed or getting refreshed periodically. What is that period basically? So assume that basically every 1 week basically this gets refreshed. For example, in 1 crore project basically if modification happens, they basically created modification, they dumped it to the server basically taken the data, and then the data get processed and checks basically whether the other software basically are getting effect, this that each and every other environment basically are getting effect. After that each and every step basically it has told to the power company basically you can take the data, the check basically has done, then basically they takes the data, then basically they, and nuclear power company merge the thing, then basically the human needs are created, then the after human needs, assume that basically tomato or potato basically was created from the software blood cells, and basically the it has checks, it basically goes to the checking department who basically checks the potato and tomato, then basically it, each and every blood cells groups are there basically. For this basically specially cities are created, that cities basically you can check this data, if problem basically occurs then basically rewrite the problem, and then basically again the creation process happens, then each and everything gets processed, and then basically after that basically the software blood cells energy basically gets created. So this is basically one process basically, and this is basically are done in CM level 5 organization also on their system base, and basically you can do in the Six Sigma system also too. And Six Sigma basically is the minor level system basically which is created. And in this basically lots of AI tools are also basically there. And AI tools basically what is that we have already discussed. So in next video basically we are going to see little bit more about this topic, that is near around our body parts, which all energy basically are into this, because according to this everything basically the accounts department basically gets the effect entire MBA department basically, entire MBA business basically are connected with this basically. You will not believe it basically. Even basically the MBA group basically might not have thought that basically their business basically are given by which data basically, because they gets the data basically, and that data basically they are getting from where basically, this all department basically. That is the body parts. So when you create the software energy, you are that software energy is connecting to each and every body parts basically. So which body parts basically are getting the business basically? It can be negative business and it can be positive business, caring business and firing business basically, that you can say. So you can just imagine basically the MBA departments basically are connected with this just now basically, which I discussed basically. In your body near around basically, which all energy basically are dumped, and who takes the decision that these all energies basically are going to be dumped in your body, that is the blood group body, and according to that you are going to get this all business basically, that is basically given name as a MBA, that is the Master Business Administration, That is basically the system basically which is getting created. Business means you will get this much business, you will get that much business, you will get this much business according to the decision taken by the certain groups, that the software energy is going to be dumped here, or basically dumped here. So that is actually one business basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.